NBA, dominating the court with godly talent unlocked. Episode 66, Affirmation from the Mother-in-Law. A wave of streams beats the three teams of dreams. Olajuwon holds the ball low and hits Anmu with his back. Anmu, stop him. At this time, the fans of the Celestial Empire in front of the TV all clenched their fists. Gao Yuanyuan sat in front of the TV, frowning his little face, clenching his fists, and nervously watching Anmu's back hit this time. Come on. Brother Mu, on the field, see Olajuwon going to give the new champion a little color, look. All the players of the Dream 3 team directly opened up space for Olajuwon. It created sufficient conditions for him to teach him a lesson. It is said that this Celestial Dynasty champion has a good defense and can withstand O'Neal's attack, so now, let this Celestial Dynasty champion see what is the top middle, attack the front. If there is anyone with the best skills among all the centers in the NBA now, all the Dream Team players present serve only one person. That's Olajuwon, who is holding the ball now. His dreamy footsteps once played David Robinson, once dangled an unknown number of all-star centers. When facing the bag, Demang's dreamy footsteps can easily find the offensive space. All the players present believed that Big Dream would make this rookie look good. Bang! Olajuwon bumped after holding the ball. The bodies of the two collided, and Anmu remained motionless after being hit. Olajuwon also had expectations for a long time. He had seen videos of Anmu defending O'Neal on TV, and he had also watched the final match between Anmu and Duncan. He knew that Anmu's downward strength was excellent, and it was basically impossible to push him. Bump back again. Bang! With the power that bounced back from Anmu, Olajuwon suddenly turned around. Anmu followed like a shadow when he saw this. But everyone knows that the first back hit and turn of Big Dream is basically a fake action. And his fake movements are realistic and real. This is the same as Iverson's butterfly walking through flowers, the brain can react, but it can't react physically. Olajuwon, like a body constructor, uses his technique to let the defenders defend him in the most awkward way. After the first turn, Olajuwon immediately made a second turn. With the right foot as the shaft, he quickly made a left turn. At the same time, he jammed Anmu with his broad shoulders, and did not give Anmu the slightest chance to defend. Demang showed his balanced left and right hand ability, and his right arm jammed Anmu to create space for himself to attack. At the same time, the left hand easily hooks the hand. Perfect footsteps. Perfect rhythm. Perfect shot arc. Mike Bryn was already cheering at this point. This time the back hit, Olajuwon did too silky. Impeccable. Only 4 words can be used to describe Olajuwon's back blow this time. This is gorgeous dream footsteps. This is Big Dream Olajuwon. This is the man who can suppress Jordan in the draft. In the 90s, Jordan was number 1, and Olajuwon was number 2. The Celestial Empire champion is still too tender, and his foot speed is good, but he still can't keep up with Demang's turning speed. This champion, who is known for his defense, may lose himself in the dreamy footsteps of Big Dreams again and again today. At this time, the American fans in the stands began to gloat. During college, Anmu has been suppressing players of the same level. This makes some people feel very unhappy, because Anmu suppresses all domestic players in the United States. Whether it's Duncan or Marcus Camby. Even O'Neal has lost in 1v1 with Anmu, which makes American fans wonder, is our American interior really not good? Will the future of the domestic players in the country always be suppressed by Anmu from the Celestial Empire? Anmu played the popping rice domestic line again and again, and the hearts of American fans were dissatisfied. They eagerly hope that a person can appear and defeat Anmu. Now, this person appeared. Basketball, thrown from Big Dream's hand. Rolling the arc towards the basket, the ball felt good and Big Dream was ready to celebrate. Anmu has studied the highlights and game videos of Big Dream. His left and right hand balance, whether it is left or right turn after the offensive move, is a smooth and never draggy mud. It is somewhat difficult to limit the Big Dream on the ground. Anmu has long thought of countermeasures. Since you can't be limited on the ground. Well, in the sky, defeat you. Anmu bent his knees and soared into the sky, stretching his arms in the air towards the basketball. After seeing Anmu's actions, Demang smiled. Do you really think you can complete the limit cap? Impossible. However, in the next moment, he couldn't laugh. In Atlanta's Olympic venues, there is even more silence. Under everyone's gaze, Anmu was at the height of the basketball before it flew to the highest point. Snap. Like a volleyball smash, dunked the basketball straight to the floor. Oh my god. Anmu actually completed the ceiling of Olajuwon? It's a limit cap, right? Is it my blindness? How is this possible? Enmu's defensive center of gravity has been confused just now, and he was also killed by Olajuwonka. How did he complete such a limit block? It's a jam ball. I saw the basketball start to fall. After seeing Enmu block Olajuwon, the first reaction of American fans is that this is not true. However, the referee did not blow the whistle. This proves that this is really a limit cap. Gong Xiaobin reached out and got the basketball that was flown by Enmu's hat. Crouch. Awesome, you kid is really domineering. Gong Xiaobin sighed while passing the basketball to Hu Weidong. After the domestic Jordan catches the ball, he starts to accelerate. Both the current fans and the future fans. They all used to think that Hu Weidong's physical fitness was the ceiling of domestic defenders. His physical fitness is already at the level of physical fitness to be able to play in the NBA. Under Hardaway's physical confrontation, Hu Weidong seemed a little staggered, but still protected the basketball well, and after reaching the basket, he suddenly scored to Li Xiaoyong outside the three-point line. Li Xiaoyong did not hesitate after receiving the ball and immediately shot the basket. Oh. 5-0. Good ball. Another goal for the Celestial Empire team. Now the Celestial Empire is 5-0 ahead of the United States. The Celestial Empire team played very well today. This goal is the credit of Enmu. Without Enmu's block, Hu Weidong and Li Xiaoyong would not have had the opportunity to play this time to cooperate. Sun Jingping's explanation made the fans of the Celestial Empire extremely excited. The addition of Enmu has increased the defensive strength of the Celestial Empire visibly. Shit. Demeng was a little dissatisfied with his attack just now. At the same time, the way he looked at Enmu had also changed. This Celestial Empire champion is not as simple as I originally thought. Yeah. After Gao Yuanyuan saw the Celestial Dynasty team successfully score, he kept cheering and cheering. Yuanyuan, what do you see? Watch TV and shout. Gao Yuanyuan's mother came out of the room and asked curiously. Gao Yuanyuan pointed to the TV. The Olympics, the Celestial Empire played against the United States, we just scored. When did you start watching basketball? Gao Yuanyuan's mother asked curiously, didn't you all look at Huan Zugej before? Hearing his mother say that he was returning Zugej, Gao Yuanyuan immediately waved his hand. I won't watch it again. Gao Yuanyuan's mother asked curiously, why? Before Gao Yuanyuan could answer, Hu Weidong assisted Li Xiaoyong to score a goal. Gao Yuanyuan cheered again. At this time, the camera was given to Enmu, and after Gao Yuanyuan's mother saw Enmu, she asked with some curiosity, this young man is very handsome, it's a pity to be so handsome to play basketball, you should be a star. After Gao Yuanyuan heard his mother's praise, his heart was sweet. He shouldn't be too big, right? Gao Yuanyuan said, yes, only 19 years old. 19 years old? Fought for the country at the age of 19, good boy. Gao Yuanyuan's mother's eyes changed. When he looked at Enmu, he had some admiration. She looked at Gao Yuanyuan again and said, if you find a partner in the future, you will also find such a tall and handsome one. And people are also marching for the country. That's a great honor too. When Gao Yuanyuan heard this, his face turned a little red. Is this from the mother-in-law's affirmation of Brother Mu? However, when she heard her mother's next words, she was like a cat with fried fur. Oh, it's me who thinks too much. If you are like this, it is estimated that you will not find anyone like this. You mean, I don't deserve it? Gao Yuanyuan glared at his mother and said, Mom. I'm such a school flower. Where am I not worthy of him? Gao Yuanyuan's mother looked at her strangely. This girl, how did she react so violently? Okay, you deserve it, you deserve it. Gao Yuanyuan's mother patted her little hand. Humph. Then I will lead him to you. Gao Yuanyuan pouted and pointed to Enmu on the TV. On the field, offense and defense switch. The US team attacked. Peyton advanced to the front court with the ball and used his body to force Li Xiaoyong. Li Xiaoyong looked at the somewhat thin Peyton and thought that he could withstand him. But after just feeling Peyton's power, Li Xiaoyong was defeated. Although Peyton is thin, the strength contained in his body is absolutely incomparable to Li Xiaoyong. After dribbling under the crotch, Peyton went to the right to break through the inside line. Get to the basket and shoot with a low hand. Bang! Enmu, who defended under the basket, did not even look at Peyton, and immediately gave Peyton a nailboard cap. Another cap. Enmu has let the attack of the American team return twice in a row. Peyton didn't do any protection for this ball, and he shot directly to the basket. Isn't this a hat to Enmu? Gong Xiaobin accepted the basketball and handed it to Li Xiaoyong. Li Xiaoyong carefully advanced through the half, and in the face of Peyton's defense, he did not dare to accelerate. After coming to the outside line, Lee Xiaoyong gave the basketball to Enmu on the flank of the three-point line. Enmu got the basketball and waited for his teammates to come forward to pick it up. Hu Weidong, who was in the bottom corner of the three-point line, used a cover from Gong Xiaobin to shake off the defense, and ran to the flank of the three-point line intending to make a hand-to-hand block with Enmu. Seeing this, Demeng moved his footsteps to limit Hu Weidong's running space. Enmu suddenly opened the door behind him. Hu Weidong stretched out his hand to take the basketball from Enmu's hand, but saw Enmu suddenly turn around and control the ball to kill under the basket. This scene made everyone stunned. "Shrink! Shrink!" Wilkins roared from the sidelines. But Enmu's speed was too fast, and after dribbling 2 steps, he immediately took off. Ma Long, who was standing under the basket, saw Enmu's momentum and consciously gave way to the basket, giving Enmu plenty of space to perform. Boom! Celestial Empire bomber, complete the bombing of the basket. 7-0. He actually dribbled the ball himself to complete an attack. Doesn't he have the ability to attack autonomously? Dribble from beyond the three-point line and finish the finish? In the months since the end of March Madness, he has practiced his ball-carrying offense? The fans began to whisper uncertainly. The fans can't understand this scene, but Wilkins can understand it. Enmu was able to complete this attack not because he practiced attacking with the ball. It was because when Demeng moved his position just now to stop Hu Weidong from running, he gave way to Enmu's offensive line. With Enmu's speed, he can shake off Demeng's defense in an instant and rush to the basket to complete the finish. "Hakeem, don't give him any more chances," Wilkins said very seriously. Judging from the current performance, the other 4 positions of the Dream Team are dominant, but there are variables in the center position. From the beginning of the game to the present, this celestial champion has brought too much surprise to Wilkins. After hearing Wilkins' words, Olajuwon said, "Coach, I underestimated him before, and then I will treat him like O'Neal. Hakeem, don't relax your demands on yourself." "Good." After the two finished talking, Peyton held the ball for the half. On the outside, Hardaway reached for the ball. After taking the ball, Hardaway singled Hu Weidong. The crotch dribble suddenly accelerates and breaks through to the right. But Hu Weidong blocked his right breakthrough. Hardaway immediately changed direction and accelerated to the left to break through. Hu Weidong could not prevent him, and Hadavian walked in. However, after being passed, Hu Weidong was not in a hurry, but showed a smile on his face. This is the defensive strategy of the Celestial Empire team. Gong Luming knew that it was impossible for the team to defend the American team on the outside. So let the players put the breakthrough players to a safe place. In this way, Enmu's terrifying defense range can be used to interfere with breakthrough players. I saw Hardaway quickly break through and enter the inside line, but it was Enmu's defense that greeted him. Enmu opened his arms and included Hardaway in his defense. Hardaway was unimpressed and continued to accelerate. When you get to the basket, jump quickly and slide from the left basket to the right side. The core strength explodes, and the ultimate pull rod layup. Look back at the moon. But when he wanted to raise his hand to the basket, he found that the basketball in his hand was gone. And on the knee, there was a sudden feeling of being hit by a basketball. The next moment, the referee blew the whistle. The American team is out of bounds, and the Celestial Empire team has the ball. After Hardaway landed, he looked around suspiciously. What just happened? Shouldn't the ball just now be looking back at the moon and scoring a backup basket? Why did the basketball hit his own leg and be blown out of bounds by the referee? The large screen over the stadium answered Hardaway's doubts. Facing Enmu's defense, Hardaway did not make a rash move. Instead, choose a gliding tie rod. If this ball had been replaced by Olajuwon, it might not have been able to defend. But Enmu kept up with Hardaway's moving speed. At the same time, when Hardaway was about to pull the rod and the basketball was already exposed to the air, Enmu suddenly reached out to cut the ball. The basketball smashed into Hardaway's knee and bounced out of bounds. Such a defensive response is the increase brought to Enmu by the dimensional level defensive reaction nerve. It will allow Enmu to make the best choice in the shortest possible time. Oh my god. The US team has failed 3 consecutive attacks. Is Enmu's defense really that powerful? Olajuwon's back singles were blocked by Enmu, Peyton's layup was blocked by Enmu, and Hardaway's drawbar layup was blocked by Enmu. The forbidden area of the Celestial Empire, under the guarding of Enmu's town, has really become a forbidden area. Enmu gave the basketball to Lee Xiaoyong outside the boundary. Lee Xiaoyong held the ball and advanced, and suddenly, Peyton reached out and stabbed the basketball directly. A perfect single defense. That's what the best defensive player on the outside is capable of. Gary Payton showed us with a great defense what the best defensive player is. Every time the opponent faces Gary Payton, be careful. The gloves will wrap you firmly. Payton took control of the basketball and immediately began to push the counterattack. At this time, Karl Malone had not yet passed the half, and Payton and Malone made a look. Both rushed to the basket at the same time. Payton held the ball to attract Gong Xiaobin's attention. Gong Xiaobin clenched his teeth and stared at Payton and Malone. Medea. It's hard to do, King Xiaoyao began to scold his mother in his heart. Payton came to the basket from the right and Malone from the left. Whoosh. The gloves throw the basketball high in your hand. It looks like he is going to give Malone an air relay. After Gong Xiaobin turned around, he saw that he immediately jumped high, ready to dunk the basketball into the basket. At this point, it was too late for him to jump. But at this moment, Enmu appeared. Carrying a visible impact, he took a step inside the free throw line. Then quickly jumped up, stretched out his arms in the air and headed towards Malone, who was about to dunk. Bang! The moment before Malone dunked the basketball into the basket, Enmu's cover arrived. The basketball was dunked by Malone on the rim and bounced high. Rebound! Payton yelled at Malone. Hearing this, Malone raised his elbow and planned to elbow Enmu apart. But Enmu did not retreat an inch after being elbowed by Malone. Bend your knees and jump to hold the basketball firmly in your hands. Brother Dong. Enmu shouted, aiming at Hu Weidong's position, and made a long pass in the backfield. Being a teammate with Nash for so long, the quarterback long pass that Nash passed so many times. Enmu also understood the principle of the quarterback's long pass. Long conduction. Hu Weidong received the ball and went to the basket. Collect the ball, jump and make a layup. Pippin came behind him and jumped high to give Hu Weidong a big hat. Fake. Pippin's pupil shrank. The next moment, Hu Weidong jumped up and threw the basketball at the same time Pippin crashed into himself. Bang. Wow. Beep. Score 3. Crouch. Kamaki, awesome. Hu Weidong sat on the ground, pointed at Enmu in the backfield and yelled loudly. Enmu walked from the back to the front, and his national team teammates stepped forward to give Enmu a high five. Damn it. You say you're a center? Isn't this the point guard of 213? It's really Zhang Fei embroidery, thick and thin. Fart. Gong Xiaobin, you can't speak, don't talk. Is there such a handsome Zhang Fei? Our Xiaomu is grandma's Chongshan Zhao Zilong. Kill him in the Laomei camp, 3 in and 3 out. Gong Xiaobin, what? Chongshan? This is Jifu Zhao Zilong, everyone said as they ran over and pulled Hu Weidong up from the floor. Hu Weidong went to the free throw line. Because Hu Weidong is highly myopic and can only see the general idea of the basket, he shoots by feeling. Take the referee's pass, feel it, hit the free throw. 10-0. This opening wave instantly knocked the Dream third team out of a daze. Wilkins turned blue and made a paused gesture towards the referee. The US team requested a timeout. 3 minutes. 3 minutes into the game, the Celestial Empire directly stopped the American team in a wave of 10-0. Fake, right? I feel that today the Celestial Empire team and the American team seem to have exchanged identities. In the past, the Celestial Empire team was hung when they met the American team, but this year has changed. The Celestial Empire team can get the current lead, all rely on Enmu. Only 3 minutes into the game, Enmu has already scored the terrifying data of 4 points, 1 rebound, 3 blocks and 1 assist. Episode 67, dominates both offensive and defensive ends. Crush the existence of the 4-center level. The Dream 3 team applied for suspension. Manager Wilkins started spewing at everyone after the players came off the pitch. What were you doing? We are Team Dream 3. We are the best team in the NBA. On the opposite side is the Celestial Empire team, not the Litao Bowl, not Croatia. What about the offense? Where is it? In addition to being capped, it is being cut into balls. What about defense? In addition to letting the other party dunk, it is to let the other party dunk. Where is our defense? Where is the frame defense? Don't let the other person jump up with a tap. Are you still elementary school students? Do you want me to be like an elementary school coach teaching you how to do things? Wilkins is a player-type coach. Unlike the coach who sent out the academy, he would always express his temper in front of all the players, and he would use his tantrums to tell the players that he was very dissatisfied, so as to motivate all the players. As early as 1960, Wilkins began working in the NBA. Even while playing in the Sonics, he was a player coach for 3 seasons. After retiring in 1975, Wilkins became an NBA coach. All the players present were still in middle school or even elementary school at that time. On March 1, 1996, Wilkins became the first in NBA history, a player who has more than 1,000 wins. He is qualified to say those words, and these players will not feel overtaken by Wilkins. Because what they just did was really bad. After calming his emotions for a while, Wilkins said, "Now, let's rearrange the team's tactics." After speaking, everyone gathered around. Wilkins looked at Daming and Marlon and said, "You two, control the basket well, don't let me see someone sprinting to the basket. Scotty, Pippen, you and Gary, Peyton, control each other's outside lines. I want to see your best defensive strength. Anthony, Hardaway, after their defense is successful, you have to be the first to accelerate and fast attack. Offensive. First of all, Hakeem Duo went to the outside to block and pull the Celestial Dynasty champion named Nmu outside the three-point line. Secondly, you can also play three-point jumpers and mid-range jumpers. Can he defend under the basket? Can he still go outside the box? As long as he goes outside the restricted area." Wilkins looked at Damang again. "Hakeem, then the basket is your territory." After arranging all the tactics, Wilkins looked at everyone and said in a deep voice, "Is there a problem?" "No problem. America. Win." The timeout ends and the game continues. U.S. team possession. After Peyton held the ball outside the three-point line, he beckoned and blocked Malone. Malone is the most capable power forward in the world, and he is keen to find space for mid-range shooting. Peyton's pass came immediately. Malone shot from an empty position, hit. 10-2. The U.S. team has finally broken the scoring drought. We can see that during the timeout just now, the head coach of the American team was very angry. After the timeout came back, the adjustment of the American team worked. Scored on the first offense, Celestial Empire ball. Lee Xiaoyong dribbled forward, and Peyton pressed Lee Xiaoyong from the back according to Wilkins' arrangement. Peyton gave a lot of physical confrontation, and Lee Xiaoyong was afraid that Peyton would steal like just now, so he passed the basketball to Hu Weidong. After Hu Weidong answered, the possession pushed outside the three-point line. Lee Xiaoyong held the ball and made a tactical gesture, and the Celestial Dynasty team began to run. But under the continuous running position, there is no opportunity at all. Lee Xiaoyong controlled the ball from the outside and transmitted continuously, and the Celestial Dynasty team could not find the shooting space to attack with only 3 seconds left, and Hu Weidong threw a three-point shot from the outside. Hardaway interfered very well, and basketball did not score. Malone grabbed the rebound and passed it to Olajuwon. Olajuwon actually chose to carry the ball on his own, and suddenly threw the basketball to Hardaway. Hardaway received the ball and punched, his hands burst and he finished the counterattack. The speed of the counterattack of the American team is extremely sharp. There is not a single player in the team who has the physical fitness to pull the crotch, all of them are first-line players who can run and jump. Malone grabbed the rebound, Olajuwon advanced with the ball, and Hardaway finished the finish. Olajuwon played his own footsteps, and the same excellent local passing vision. Olajuwon is known for his fantastic footwork and his passing is equally good. The 20+10+5 assist stats are as simple as eating and drinking for Olajuwon. After the American team came back from a pause, it completely played its own momentum. The score difference is gradually narrowing, and the Celestial Empire must be stabilized. Sun Jinping said worriedly. The Celestial Empire team managed to build a 10-point lead in the opening 3 minutes. It's less than a minute now, and the 10-point lead is only 6 points now. Lee Xiaoyong took advantage of Nmu's cover to control the ball to the front. Nmu stood at the top of the arc of the three-point line and took the basketball from Lee Xiaoyong's hand. Subsequently, the whole team began to run. This time, Damang will definitely not give Nmu any more chances. Steadily stuck by Nmu's side, so as not to give in. Hu Weidong came up to catch the ball, and Nmu made a hand-handed block to block Hardaway for him. Hu Weidong immediately broke through to the inner line. But at this moment, Peyton let go of Lee Xiaoyong and rushed directly towards Hu Weidong. 2 long arms rushed straight to snatch the basketball in Hu Weidong's hand. Hu Weidong saw Peyton coming up, did not dare to continue dribbling, gloves Peyton's stealing ability he has seen. Lao Hu, pass. Point guard Lee Xiaoyong shouted at Hu Weidong. He's a good open slot and can shoot with the ball. Hu Weidong put his hands together from his chest and raised it high to pass to Lee Xiaoyong. But Peyton was like cowhide candy, clinging to Hu Weidong, and suddenly jumped at the moment of Hu Weidong's pass, and his palm just blocked Hu Weidong's passing route, and at the same time knocked out the basketball. Pippen took the ball that had been knocked out and passed it again to Hardaway. Hu Weidong couldn't catch up behind Hardaway, and could only watch as Hardaway received the ball and completed a dazzling dunk on the basket of the Celestial Empire. The Dream Team scored 3 goals in a row, which made the fans smile. 6-0. The US team just didn't adjust. It was really good to come back from the timeout, both offensively and defensively, and I played at the level I should have. These NBA superstars started too slack, and after being scolded by Wilkins, it was immediately fine. The Celestial Empire is about to collapse. I have a hunch that as long as we can surpass, then it will be the beginning of the collapse of the Celestial Empire. The American fans were talking about the game very enthusiastically. Off the field, Gong Looming's face was solemn. The defensive intensity of the American team is too great, and with the defensive intensity, the Celestial Empire is a little difficult. On the outside, Lee Xiaoyong was forced by Peyton to put his hands together. It's going to drop the ball again. The eyes of American fans are shining. If this goal is broken, if the United States scores this goal, the point difference will be instantly reduced to 2 points or even 1 point. Hu Weidong hurriedly stepped forward to answer. Before Peyton could make a steal, Lee Xiaoyong finally passed the basketball out. After passing the ball, Lee Xiaoyong breathed a sigh of relief in his heart, and at the same time, he was a little helpless. The defense of this NBA star nicknamed Gary Payton was too ruthless. Under his defense, it is simply impossible to break through. After Hu Weidong took the ball, he beckoned and blocked Enmu. However, when beckoning, Hu Weidong's finger silently compared a number 3 to Enmu. Enmu walked to the position and prepared to block the demolition. Hardaway made all preparations and planned to bypass Enmu's blocking as soon as possible. At the same time, Olajuwon was preparing to delay Hu Weidong's breakthrough. Hu Weidong moved across with the ball, and Hardaway was preparing to go around the block. But in the next second, he found that Enmu was gone. Fake gear removal. Shrink. Don't let him go to the basket, Hardaway shouted at Malone. When Ma Long heard this, he immediately began to move quickly. Enmu received a ground pass from Hu Weidong during the run, and after hitting the basket, he found that Ma Long had contracted under the basket. At the same time, Malone is ready to create fouls. Even Olajuwon, who is known for his flexible footsteps, is impossible to stop before hitting Malone at such a fast speed. The postman has made all the preparations, just waiting for that Celestial Empire champion to foul. In the next second, Enmu rushed to Ma Long's body. However, the collision that Malone expected did not happen at all. Enmu turned around silky slippery at the moment when he was about to hit Ma Long. Bend your knees and fly to the basket. Successfully complete the two-handed buckle. Shoo. Looking at Enmu hanging on the basket, Ma Long gasped. What he wanted to say was not horror, but it hurts. When Enmu turned around just now, Shitzi was not idle. The elbow as strong as steel hit Marl in the back. This kid is too ruthless. Ma Long elbowed Enmu once just now, thinking that this matter would pass like this, but Enmu forgot about it at all. In this attack, they were all returned. The 12-6 point difference was again widened to 6 points. The US team attacked. Ma Long's mid-range singles on the flank Gong Xiaobin, after breaking through the ball, suddenly stopped jumping and shot. Oh. Goal scored. At this time, Sun Jingping said, this player of the American team, don't look at his muscles, but his playing style is mainly based on mid-range shooting. His muscles work more on the defensive end. Ball conversion. Enmu went to the outside again to make a block for Lee Xiaoyong, and Lee Xiaoyong broke through to the inside line, and was assisted by the leather tent. Seeing this, Olajuwon went directly to bag Lee Xiaoyong with Pippin. Although the basic skills of this Celestial Empire defender are good, his physical fitness is still not good. Olajuwon believes that under his and Pippin's defense, he will definitely be able to steal the basketball, and no matter how bad it is, he can make a step violation. Under the bag of the two, Lee Xiaoyong's performance was very struggling. Throw it at the basket. In order to avoid mistakes, Enmu shouted loudly at Lee Xiaoyong. After hearing Enmu's words, Lee Xiaoyong jumped up, leaned back, and threw the basketball towards the basket. His back was so wide that it was even parallel to the ground. After throwing the basketball out, Lee Xiaoyong lay directly on the ground. But he was still looking at the flying basketball. Enmu and Lee, the moment Xiaoyong threw the ball, he flew into the inside line. Jump hard with both feet, reach out in the air to get the basketball, and directly dunk the basketball into the basket. Phew, Lee Xiaoyong breathed a sigh of relief and quickly got up from the ground to defend himself. Now the Celestial Empire scores completely by Enmu. The Celestial Empire won't last long. Enmu alone on the carry team? Although this is a heroic feat, everyone knows that one person can't carry the whole audience. Even if the Celestial Empire does not collapse in the first half, it will lose in the second half. The mouths of these fans are still very hard. But they seem to have forgotten one thing. At the beginning of the game, the prediction of American fans was that they would only need 10 minutes to complete the lead. Some people even say that the American team can lead the Celestial Empire by 20 points at halftime. However, now they have changed their opinion, thinking that the Celestial Empire can survive the first half, but it cannot survive the second half. Gong Luming watched Peyton dribble over the half, and suddenly reminded loudly on the sidelines. Focus on defending their shots. Don't give them a chance to shoot, let them break through to the basket. And Mu, you keep the basket. The Celestial Empire players followed Gong Luming's orders and focused on shooting and defending the players of the American team. Malone once again held the ball and shot from mid-range, and the basketball hit the iron. The advantage of defending only one item in this way is that the defensive strength of the Celestial Empire players can be improved. Me shooting outside the line will be seriously disturbed, and if they want to ensure their shooting percentage, they can only break through to the inside line. And Mu grabbed the rebound, passed it to Li Xiaoyong and quickly attacked the front court. Li Xiaoyong followed in Mu's side, using in Mu's body as cover, and the two accelerated to the front together. Xiao Mu, don't run so fast. Li Xiaoyong said helplessly. And Mu's running speed is even faster than his point guard. It's unreasonable. Two people came to the front court, one after the other. And Mu suddenly asked for a position in a low position, and then beckoned to Li Xiaoyong for the ball. After receiving the basketball, and Mu pressed the weight back. After seeing this scene, many people were very surprised. And Mu actually wants to attack with the ball by himself? He's going to single Olajuwon with his back? As far as I know, he doesn't have the ability to hold the ball in singles, and Olajuwon's defense will embarrass him very much. It is undeniable that In Mu's physical fitness is indeed outstanding. Even in the game against the United States team, In Mu can continue to fly away. But that doesn't mean that In Mu can do anything. You can make up the basket, you can also make the aerial relay. But, singles with the ball? No way. Olajuwon's eyes froze, and he stretched out his arm against In Mu. And Mu held the ball and hit back quickly. Bang 660. Olajuwon was well prepared. Even if O'Neal's back is hit, he can't easily push him away. But because of In Mu's video of hanging O'Neal, Olajuwon was very careful about In Mu's defense this time. He gave all his strength. However, when In Mu collided back, Olajuwon took 2 steps back in a row. And Mu walked step by step and continued to bump into Olajuwon. Olajuwon failed to withstand In Mu again, and was directly pushed to the basket by In Mu. Stick the ball, jump and fight to chop the basketball towards the basket. Boom. 14-6. Olajuwon didn't even have time to jump, so he could only watch In Mu complete this attack. Oh my god. It's terrible, yes. Olajuwon couldn't even withstand one of his back bumps, worthy of the body that can dunk the rebound. Demang was separated by In Mu and retreated one after another. He looked at In Mu hanging on the basket in shock. The strength of this guy is too strong. O'Neal's back hit is not so tough. His stature is so much worse than O'Neal, how can he have a back singles power that is stronger than O'Neal? Off the court, O'Neal's eyes, who were sitting on the bench, also revealed a deep jealousy. When he lost in San Antonio, O'Neal felt that it was nothing, because he didn't give his best that time. It is better to say that In Mu has defended all his attacks, but it is better to say that he has not yet figured out In Mu's defensive paths. O'Neal believes that if he can figure out In Mu's defensive paths, he will definitely be able to defeat In Mu. However, there is one thing O'Neal has to admit. That's the power of this guy. It's terrifying. O'Neal has never seen such a violent and terrifying force in an NBA player. That power is like superhuman power. And Mu's figure looks actually not strong. But in his body, it contains such a violent power. It's just bizarre. It's talent. This is innate strength. This kind of strength is not at all practiced by going to the gym and exercising. O'Neal thought afterwards that since he couldn't withstand In Mu's power, so can Olajuwon withstand? When Olajuwon was in the finals that year, he defended himself very well. In today's game, O'Neal has been waiting for In Mu to hit Olajuwon on his back to prove it. In Mu's power can indeed crush Olajuwon. Now, Olajuwon also feels the power from In Mu compaction. O'Neal was horrified in his heart. He can now make a judgment. In terms of strength, this Celestial Dynasty behemoth is an existence that can crush the 4 major centers. He didn't mention Ewing and Robinson in the slightest. Because, in O'Neal's eyes, the power of Ewing and Robinson is simply not enough. Although Demang was shocked by In Mu's strength, he already had a way to defend In Mu in his heart. Rookie, don't be arrogant. I got through you. Don't try to score next time. Episode 68, Goddess Lee's Kiss Reward, destroying the hammer, sends O'Neal into the ICU. And Mu himself, the ability to carry the ball and back singles is really not outstanding. However, there is such a sentence that Mu has always believed in his previous life. Miracles come out vigorously. Olajuwon obviously did not have an obvious understanding of his own strength just now, and the continuous back collision made Olajuwon a little at a loss. It also allowed Mu to score successfully. Olajuwon was also shocked by Mu's power at this time. But after Mu's back fight this time, Olajuwon already knows how to defend Mu next time. If Mu has to fight himself alone next time, Olajuwon doesn't mind letting this rookie taste what it's like to eat mud from a dog. The US team attacked. Peyton advanced to the front with the ball, dribbling continuously and getting rid of Lee Xiaoyong's defense, accelerating the breakthrough into the basket, and Mu immediately exerted his defensive pressure on Peyton's body. Peyton was a little shocked by Mu's prowess on the defensive end. He directly sealed all his shooting space. The shot was definitely not daring, and Peyton transferred the basketball to Olajuwon in a small area. After Olajuwon got the basketball, he jumped lightly and put the basketball into the basket. The moment the basketball enters the basket, the inside of Olajuwon, the heart finally relaxed, because he was surprised to find out from the beginning of the game to now. He didn't get any data. Rebounds, no. Assists, no. Score, and no. Only Mu's cover, caused by the error data. Now, 2 points in hand. Finally at ease. 14-8. The Dream third team is still 6 points behind the Celestial Empire. Ball conversion. After holding the ball for half the court, Lee Xiaoyong passed the basketball to Hu Weidong. After Hu Weidong took the ball on the flank of the three-point line, he passed the basketball to Mu's hands. After Mu got the basketball, Olajuwon raised all his attention and observed Mu's movements. This time, you will definitely not be allowed to complete the shot. Mu put his weight on Olajuwon's body, and at the same time, his eyes met Hu Weidong. Bang! Mu dribbled with his back and hit Olajuwon. Hardaway's attention was drawn to Mu, and he relaxed his defense of Hu Weidong. At this time, Hu Weidong accelerated to the running position and quickly slipped from the flank of the three-point line to the basket. The basketball in Mu's hand also passed to Hu Weidong's hands. Hu Weidong received the ball and got to a back basket. Mu assists, +1. 16-8. Oh my god. Mu actually delivered a very wonderful assist. This ball is so good. The cooperation between him and Hu Weidong is very tacit. Could it be that Mu has the possibility of becoming a passing strategy inside line in the future? Although the technology of this champion is still relatively rough, what we can see is that their other ball quotient is obviously very high. Defensively, he can completely block the opponent's shooting space. On the offensive end, he can find holes in the opponent's defense to complete the OR cut, and even make such a pass from time to time. Perhaps, the Lakers really chose 203 for their own roots in the next 20 years. We all know one thing: before the Dream Team set out this year, they played a game against a team of star college players led by Duncan. In this game, Tim Duncan played very well. He scored 22 points. This made Olajuwon and Robinson full of praise. In the game between the Dream 3 team and the star college player team, no video data has flowed out. But judging from today's game, Mu's performance will definitely not be inferior to Duncan. Even better than Duncan. Mu's pass, although it only helped the Celestial Empire get 2 points. However, many fans and commentators at the scene, and even the players and coaches of the American team saw something unusual. A passing strategy inside line is very scarce. Jumping men with explosive physical fitness, there are many leagues. But how many centers are there on the pitch who can attack, defend, and respond? I didn't think that the centers who could have these three were the top players in the 90s. Mu, there seems to be a sign of this. Rookie, kind of continue to single me. Do you think you can't beat me? That goal just now was just luck. You're scared. Olajuwon began to provoke Mu with trash talk. Olajuwon feels that as a rookie, Mu will definitely rise because of his trash talk. Mu glanced at Olajuwon and nodded, I am indeed afraid. After Olajuwon heard Mu's words, his face was full of question marks. This guy just admitted it himself? However, Mu's next sentence made Olajuwon almost squirt out a mouthful of old blood. You are a little older. I am afraid that if I continue to fight, you may enter the ICU. This year's Olajuwon is 33 years old, which can be regarded as the end of his peak. Abdul-Jabbar is still fighting in the league at 40, and I'm old when I'm 33? Who said that only women care about their age? Actually, men will too. Especially athletes who eat youth rice. So, Okujuwon was angry. He and Enmu spewed trash talk, not provoking Enmu. But because of Enmu's counterattack, he was enraged. This is what it is called, pretending to be forced to succeed, but being Chow. Peyton dribbled through the half, and Olajuwon turned his back to the position. But this time Enmu did not give Olajuwon a chance to take the position easily. Olajuwon sunk his shoulders and planned to put Enmu behind him to ask for the ball. But Enmu resisted hard and almost overturned Olajuwon. Peyton, who was already on the outside and was ready to hang the ball, immediately stopped his movements after discovering this situation. But Lee Xiaoyong's eyes flashed at this time, and he suddenly reached out to fish it up, and the basketball in Peyton's hand was hit into the air by Lee Xiaoyong. Pressing Peyton, Lee Xiaoyong jumped and slapped the basketball in the air to Sun Jun on the side. What? The gloves were stolen? This is really the first time. In the first few warm-up matches, I remember that the gloves were not tackled once, and this time they were actually tackled. The Celestial Empire has played a momentum, and the suspension adjustment of the American team just now seems to be ineffective again. At this time, American fans were anxious. It seems that it has the strength to suppress the Celestial Empire, so why can't it be exerted? At the same time, they were also praying in their hearts that this fast attack of the Celestial Empire must not be scored. If you score, the point difference is back to 10 points. Enmu directly let go of Olajuwon at the moment when Lee Xiaoyong completed the steal, and after Enmu's body withdrew, Olajuwon sat directly on the floor. The next moment, Enmu sprinted to the front at full speed. Karl Malone and Enmu started at almost the same time, but he was horrified to find that this kid ran faster than a rabbit. But in a few breaths, he was several steps ahead of himself. Sun Jun held the ball and rushed quickly, and Pippen followed closely behind. WOC. Sun Jun glanced back and cursed secretly, Pippen ran too fast. If you attack rashly, you will definitely be nailed to the big hat by Pippen. Jun brother, air connection. Enmu's voice suddenly sounded. Without any hesitation, Sun Jun threw the basketball high into the air, and then dodged off the basket. Pippen looked at the flying basketball and jumped up with all his might to try to intercept. The next moment, the bomber came again. Pippen got the basketball one step first, and there was a physical collision with Pippen in the air. The impact carried by the bomber knocks down the air defense line, and then drops the PAO bomb. Boom. 18-8. The point difference, back to 10 points again. Shit. Wilkins, who was on the sidelines, saw that the Celestial Empire had managed to score again, and violently threw the tactical board in his hand to the floor. The tactical board shattered in response. Wilkins gestured and called a pause again. After the timeout, Wilkins made changes to the lineup. Regimick Caleb replaced Hardaway. The game continues. After Regimick came on the court, he began to actively run. His movement is very sharp and he can always look for holes in the Celestial Empire team's defense. 2 3-pointers in a row to quickly close the gap. The best three-point shooter of the 90s saved the American team. Subsequently, the two teams began to enter the hand-to-hand combat phase. The Olympic Games in the 90s were based on FIBA rules. The game lasted a total of 40 minutes, divided into two halves, each 20 minutes. At the same time, each attack time is also 30 seconds. It wasn't until the 2000 Sydney Olympics that FIBA's rules would be in line with those of the NBA. This was converted to 4 quarters of 10 minutes each, while each attack time was shortened to 24 seconds. After a fierce competition, the first half of the game was over. Enmu did not rest for a minute in the first half. In the first half, Celestial Empire was 44-40, 4 points ahead of the United States. The Celestial Empire can score 44 points in the first half, which is completely the credit of Enmu. Cut down 20 points, 10 rebounds, 7 blocks, and 2 steals in the half. It's terrible. He alone scored almost half of the Celestial Empire's team. This is exactly what he played during his NCAA period. Could it be that the strength of the Dream Third team is the same as the strength of the NCAA team? Impossible. Believe me, Enmu is already a strong Lu. After 20 minutes at halftime, Olajuwon and O'Neal took turns to consume Enmu. I don't believe he can still have enough physical strength in the second half. Don't look at the halftime lead of the Celestial Empire. As soon as the second half of the game comes back, not only Enmu will have physical problems, but other players in the Celestial Empire will also have physical problems. Their substitute strength is very different from our substitute strength. The depth of our squad is not comparable to them, and when the Celestial Empire begins to change starters on a large scale, it will be time for us to turn over. The strength of this Dream 3 team is absolutely not allowed to lose in the first game of the group stage. Nope. Not just the first game, but also, the first few games can't be lost. We have to win. American fans in the stands cheered each other on during the break. The Celestial Dynasty team returned to the dressing room to rest. And Mu gasped heavily, holding a towel to wipe the sweat that was constantly secreting. Xiao Mu, can you still hold on? Gong Luming looked at Enmu and asked with concern. Enmu took a few deep breaths and said, "Don't worry, this is a small meeting, I can rest in one intermission." Gong Luming patted Enmu's shoulder. Then, he turned to look at all the players in the Celestial Empire. He said in a heavy tone, "We have to win today, win no matter what. We've been fighting for a half. At halftime, we were the leading side. In the second half, I hope we will still be on the leading side. In the territory of Laomei, win Laomei's team. Domestic fans are watching us. In the second half, you must not drop the chain. The current players, the sense of honor is very strong. There are even some players who have the status of soldiers. Driven by a strong sense of team honor and national pride, none of the 12 players present wanted to win. At halftime, everyone was regaining their strength. Ding ding ding. There was a noise in Enmu's backpack. SMS? Enmu frowned. There are not many people who know his mobile phone number. No one in this day and age will text or advertise. Who will text themselves? Open the backpack and take it out. Cell phone. Lee Jessen, I watched the game, you played very well. Keep up the good work in the second half. After winning this game, when I see you in the next game, I will give you a little reward. Enmu smiled at the text message and replied, "What reward? Lee Jessen, how about giving you a kiss?" At halftime, the two teams play again. Begin. When he came on the field, the starting lineup on the side of the Celestial Empire was panting. The 15-minute break obviously did not allow them to recover their physical strength quickly. On the side of the Dream Team, there was also a little problem with physical strength, but they were not afraid at all. Because the depth of the Dream Team's lineup is terrifying. At the beginning of the third quarter, Wilkins fielded O'Neal, Malone, Hill, Michael, Payton. On the side of the Celestial Empire, only one Liu Yudong in the power forward position was replaced. The other starters remained on the pitch. U.S. team possession. Payton had possession of the ball for the half, and the outside possession organized the team's attack. Once again, Michael started running without the ball. The moment he saw Michael running without the ball, Hu Weidong gritted his teeth. In the first half, the American team began to counterattack, because of Michael's play, which directly disrupted the defensive formation of the Celestial Empire. He scored consecutive points through accurate three-pointers to keep the U.S. team up to catch up. Hu Weidong's physical strength was also more consumed in following Michael to run without the ball. After covering from Hill and Karl Malin, Michael was given an open spot from beyond the three-point line. Catch, shoot, shoot. Hu Weidong's interference was nothing to Michael. Oh. Score. Regami Gale's fourth three-point shot of the game. His outside projection completely destroyed Chao's defense. I think when Regami Kaye is in the shooting guard position, it is the best fit for the American team. Many fans nodded in agreement. Hardaway is a ball-carrying type of player. Payton is a point guard and also has to hold the ball, so the two appear in the guard position at the same time, and there will be a conflict on ball ownership. So it's better to match Payton with a no-ball shooter, so that you can maximize the performance. The power of the American team. Once the space is pulled out, the game becomes very simple. Defend. Defend. Give me this defense to defend. On the sidelines, Wilkins yelled at all the players. Now the score is 44-43. Since the whole game, this is the biggest opportunity for the American team to overtake. Watch your position. Don't leak people, outside defense has me. Inside defense, Shaq and Karl move a little faster, pay attention to the bag clipping. Payton, who won the best defensive player as a point guard, became a defensive coach on the court. He constantly communicates with his teammates to achieve maximum communication. Celestial Dynasty passed the ball from the outside for 20 seconds, but still did not find an offensive opportunity. There are only 10 seconds left. Enmu saw that there was a problem on the outside line, and immediately reached out to Lee Xiaoyong to ask for the ball. Lee Xiaoyong hung the ball to O'Neal. Shark versus Behemoth. The picture of San Antonio at 4 o'clock in the morning plays out again. It's also a derby between the inside lines of Los Angeles. Who will win this time? Enmu held the ball in his right hand and squeezed O'Neal frantically. O'Neal lowered his body's center of gravity and gritted his teeth to defend Enmu. This guy, the strength seems to be more terrifying? O'Neal was surprised to find that Enmu's back strength is now stronger than the last All-Star. I haven't seen him for half a year, has he improved so much? Bang. And Mu rammed furiously, and O'Neal retreated. It's brutal. Neither the Sharks nor Olajuwon could stop his back hit one. Does he still have the physical strength to do such a back blow? Shark, come on. Hold it up. The fans of the United States are all silently cheering for O'Neal in their hearts, but O'Neal really can't support it. Carl. Bag clip. Eventually, O'Neal decided to call in a defensive bag from his teammates. When Karl Malone heard this, he immediately ran over from the side and wrapped Mu under the two-person bag, and Mu had to put his hands together. Phew, it's good that the Een stopped you. O'Neal let out a sigh of relief. With 3 seconds left in the attack, it seems that the defense of the American team has been successful this time. A smile appeared on O'Neal's face. Is it? Think it's all over? Hammer of destruction. A sneer appeared at the corner of Mu's mouth. Iron hammer of destruction, fierce attack. Turn the left foot for the shaft and push off Malone to create space for the jump. Boom. And Mu bent his knees and jumped on the spot, flying high like a rocket in the air. Stretch your arms in the air. Arm, transformed into the handle of Thor's hammer. Palm, turn into Thor's hammerhead. Destruction Thor's hammer, boom. Under the double bag of Karl Malone and O'Neal. The Iron Hammer of Destruction is excited again. After the Iron Hammer of Destruction is superimposed on the God's chosen body, it is upgraded to Hammer of Destruction Thor. Bomb the basket. Boom. The next moment, rebounds, shatter. Basketball hoop, broken. Then, smashed on O'Neal's head under the basket. Bang. The basketball hoop fell to the ground. Bang. O'Neal, too, fell to the ground. What happened? Everyone looked at the scene in shock. On O'Neal's forehead, there were blood stains. And he, too, is rolling his eyes. Bye. Buckle dizzy? Olajuwon stood up abruptly. He recalled the conversation he had with Mu just now. I'm afraid of knocking you into the ICU. This rookie, what he said, seems to be true. Episode 69. The Purple and Gold Legion has added another fierce general, and the Dream Third team was killed by Mu Show. The scene was silent. And Mu, once again dunked the rebound. Moreover, not only did he dunk the rebound, he also directly broke the basketball hoop. When the basketball hoop broke, it smashed on O'Neal's head. O'Neal is now, on his head, bleeding profusely. Oh God. What kind of weird thing is this? Jesus Christ. There's no problem with Sharks, right? Oh my God. His explosive power is also too strong. This is simply Hulk alive. With the double bag of Karl Malone and O'Neal, he was still able to dunk the basket. I remember when he dunked the rebound, it seemed like he was caught in the bag. Could it be that only when he is trapped, Mu will exert his full strength? The fans burst into exclamations. Mike Bryant and Albert looked at the scene in shock. Mike, tell me. This is not true. Albert shook Mike Bryant's arm. Mike Bryant swallowed his saliva and said, Maybe. It's true. And Mu actually smashed the basketball hoop again. Shaq is a little unlucky. Every time I meet Mu, it seems to be the consequence of being dunked by Mu. There was even more chaos on the field. The referee interrupted the match after seeing O'Neal fall to the ground. The team doctor of the American team hurriedly walked up to check on O'Neal's condition. And Mu stood aside, looking at O'Neal, who had fallen to the ground, a little embarrassed. The teammates of the Celestial Empire all rushed towards Mu. I lean on. I rely on me, Xiao Mu, you are too strong. I heard that you smashed the rebound before, I still don't believe it, today I really believe it. What did you grow up eating? I'll buy some for my son when I go home. O'Neal won't be detained by you. Wouldn't it be so bad? After Mu heard Gong Xiaobin's words, he looked at O'Neal. There should still be gas. Only out, not in? Mu. Gong Luming glared at Gong Xiaobin. Gong Xiaobin. Shut me up if you can't speak. Medical staff constantly check on O'Neal. Shaq. Can you hear me? Shaq. O'Neal was confused and heard someone shouting his name. After hearing O'Neal's promise, the team doctor breathed a sigh of relief. I should have fainted, no problem. After stopping the bleeding, send it to the hospital for a checkup to avoid a concussion. After talking to Wilkins, the team doctor immediately beckoned someone to push the surgical cart over. After a while, O'Neal was pushed out of the field by the surgical car. By the time he lay in the surgery cart, O'Neal had regained some consciousness. What kind of monster is that? Is he Satan the devil from hell? Why doesn't it end well every time I see him? Last time, San Antonio was blasted by Mu, and the eyes were secretly photographed by a reporter from the New York Times. After this happened, O'Neal first quarreled with Jordan. In the following matches, every time the opponent talked to him in trash, he would always say it to stimulate him. In the offseason, O'Neal wanted to go to the Lakers. However, the Lakers chose Mu in the draft, and O'Neal's disillusionment was shattered. In the end, Baylor reached out and fished him up, allowing him to enter the Clippers while also forming teammates with Peyton. Originally, O'Neal thought he would be the #1 center in Los Angeles. So he was very happy to participate in this summer's national team training. In a group stage of the Olympics, he met Mu again. O'Neal was going to show Mu the strength of the first center in Los Angeles. He wants to start suppressing Mu before the regular season officially starts, in the Olympic Games. Let your popularity in Los Angeles peak. And then he lay on the surgical cart and was pushed by the operating cart to the hospital. Damn it. What a special thing is this? O'Neal frowned, and as a result, he caused a tear in the wound. Bleeding again. At the scene, the staff began to replace the basketball hoop. Everyone in the American team had deep jealousy in their eyes, looking at Mu on the bench on the other side. At this time, Olajuwon was actually a little happy in his heart. In the first half of the game, Mu's performance did exceed Olajuwon's expectations. Olajuwon definitely did not expect that Mu could cut a high score of 20 points in the half. In a sense, Olajuwon was actually hung by Mu in the first half of the game. Because Olajuwon only scored a total of 8 points in the first half of the game. And his defensive Mu scored a terrifying 20 points in the half. Originally, Olajuwon felt that O'Neal would also be hung by Mu after playing in the second half. Looking at it now, O'Neal encountered not only a simple matter, such as a hanging hammer, he was directly stunned by Mu. Olajuwon breathed a sigh of relief, although he was blown up, but he did not enter the hospital. If he is stunned by Mu, it must be late to protect the festival. As for O'Neal? He has been suppressed by Mu too many times, so it doesn't matter if he has more than this time. Los Angeles. Lakers general manager's office. West was watching the game in his office. To be honest, Mu's first half game was really outstanding. Although he does not have the ability to hold the ball singles, he is able to use all the conditions on the court to create scoring opportunities for himself. Air cut, rebuckle, strong back hit. What brightened West's eyes the most was that at the beginning of the first half, Mu was about to make a hand-to-hand block for Huwaidong, and then directly dribble from the three-point line to the basket to end the dunk. This ball fully demonstrates Mu's understanding of the defense of the field. After seeing this ball, West knew that he was worth signing this title. On the side, the magician was also watching the game. So, Irwin, what do you think of this kid? West raised an eyebrow at John. Johnson took a sip of coffee and did not hide his praise. As long as this kid can practice back singles, he can definitely become the strongest center. In 3 years, he will definitely compete for MVP, West smiled and asked, so? The comeback thing? Ever since O'Neal and Peyton signed with the Clippers, West has been talking to the Magic about a comeback. It's now the end of July, and the magician still hasn't nodded in agreement. However, his body shape is much better than more than half a month ago. When Kobe, Nash, Fisher, and Johnson were training together, Johnson himself was not idle. Always control your diet and strengthen your confrontation. The magician put the coffee on the table next to him and crossed Erling's legs. West smiled helplessly, this magician. He's playing with himself now. This kid still remembers last season, when he turned down his comeback request. Okay. West raised his hands and said, Irwin, the Los Angeles Lakers need you. The Clippers next door have Peyton plus O'Neal, and we only have one Mu in the team. I believe that after your comeback, your role on the court will definitely be much better than Peyton. Are you willing to watch the rise of the Clippers, which have always been suppressed by us? The Clippers are strong, but what we're going to do next season is to be stronger than the Clippers. You know, it's not okay to rely on these rookies, we need a veteran. A veteran who once led the Lakers to create brilliance, who had the loudest reputation in the 80s. Magician. Elvin John News, so, in the 90s, can he help the Lakers create glory again? My answer is okay. West looked at John. Irwin, promise me. The magician lowered his upturned Erlang leg, then looked at West and nodded. Okay, I'll come back. I really hope to play with these, the next decade of players of the Lakers. West stood up, walked over to Magic Johnson, stretched out his hand. Magic also extended his hand, and the two shook it. I'm looking forward to the moment when the magicians put on their purple and gold jerseys again, to compete in the NBA. At that moment, there will be countless Lakers fans cheering. After reaching an agreement, West pointed to the TV and asked, who do you think will win? The magician shook his head and said, I think both teams have a 50% chance of winning. West looked at the TV, and at this time, the camera was given to the Celestial Empire team. It can be seen that the morale of the Celestial Empire team is very high. West also said, the morale of the Celestial Empire has officially exploded at this moment. Next, the US team will play tougher. O'Neal withdrew due to injury. As a result, the Dream third team will have a big problem in the center forward position, and Daming is now 33 years old and will definitely not be able to defend O'Neal like in the first half of the game. The Dream 3 team also has a center, David Robinson. However, Olajuwon and O'Neal's couldn't let go of O'Neal. Can David Robinson, who has less power in the downset, do this? No. The game on the field continues. After the Celestial Empire returned from the game, morale was high. Hu Weidong actually blocked a shot from Regem Caleb. Then led the team to a counterattack. Sun Jun held the ball and rushed to the basket, and when he reached the basket, he suddenly gave a small range to Enmu who followed. Enmu took the ball and hit the basket. Olajuwon turned to defend, but hit Enmu's arm. The number of fouls, the time came 4. In the Olympic Games, 5 fouls will be expelled. So, Olajuwon only had 1 foul chance. Enmu scored a free throw, and the difference became 49 to 43. Seeing this, Wilkins replaced Robinson with a blue face. After the Admiral was replaced, Gong Luming's smile was very bright. Although this is also an all-star level center, compared to the first two Olajuwon and O'Neal, Robinson is the weakest one. The morale of the Celestial Empire is still high. The next attack of the Dream 3 team ended with Malone's mid-range shot. Enmu won the rebound and gave the ball to Lee Xiaoyong. Lee Xiaoyong controlled the ball over the half and handed it to Enmu at the penalty line. The outside line of the Celestial Empire began to run, and Lee Xiaoyong used Liu Yudong's cover, and there was a 3-point vacancy on the outside line. Enmu's passing racket is just around the corner. Wow! Lee Xiaoyong successfully made a 3-pointer. It was his third 3-point shot of the game and played a vital role. This 3-point shot extended the lead of the Celestial Empire to 9 points. Wilkins immediately called a timeout and put on the strongest lineup. Robinson, Malone, Pippen, Michael, Payton. Halftime press them. Don't let their point guard possess the ball past halftime. Wilkins tasked Pippen and Payton. Every time Lee Xiaoyong controlled the ball, he would be strongly interfered with by Payton. Even if someone answers, that person will be disturbed by Pippen. For the first time, the Celestial Empire suffered an 8-second halftime violation. The US team also took advantage of the situation to slowly narrow the point difference to 5 points. Gong Luming made personnel adjustments. Lee Xiaoyong, who was physically exhausted, was replaced, and Wu Qinglong was substituted. In the Liao Province team, Lee Xiaoyong and Wu Qinglong are the defenders of Liao Province. Lee Xiaoyong played the point guard, and Wu Qinglong played the quarterback. But when it came to the international competition, Wu Qinglong played point guard. He is very strong and weighs more than 100 kilograms. In the NBA, 100 kilograms is already a small forward-level weight. Taking advantage of his weight and skillful ball control, Celestial Empire slowly solved the problem of not being able to control the ball for the past half. In the first 15 minutes of the second half, Celestial Empire still maintained a 5-point lead. In the last 5 minutes, the American team was in a hurry. Wilkins gave a death order to get the deficit back 3 minutes before. Pippen plays the role of a big heart. Hit a 3-pointer in 4:10. 72 to 70, put the point difference back to 2 points. Turning back, Enmu singled with his back, and Robinson and Ma Long wrapped Enmu. Enmu immediately split the ball to Liu Yudong. God of War shoots steadily like a dog, and steadily scores the ball. 74 to 70. Looking back, Pippen once again singled Sun Jun with the ball, and jumped from mid-range stops. Oh. 74 to 72. There are only 3 minutes and 10 seconds left. The Celestial Empire attacked again. Enmu made an external gesture to block Wu Qinglong, and before the blocking was completed, he suddenly withdrew to the inside line to kill. Wu Qinglong hit the ground and passed the ball to Enmu. Karl Malone quickly defended and David Robinson chased after him. Enmu faced Karl Malone's defense, controlled the center of gravity, and turned to pass. Seeing this, David Robinson behind him took off to prepare for the nailboard hat. However, Enmu did not make a move at the first time after turning around. It turned out to be just a fake. Karl Malone saw David Robinson being dangled by Enmu. The same accelerated towards Enmu. Die. The iron elbow Ma Long stretched out his ruthless big hand, ready to block Enmu, who was about to make a layup. 4. He flew in the air, Enmu had not yet made a move. He flew over Enmu, Enmu immediately put his hands together and jumped with all his strength. Fold your hands in place. 76 to 72. This footstep. Gorgeous. Did I see dreamy footsteps? Did Enmu learn his dream steps during the time he was on the court and facing Olajuwon? It can't be. Fake, really? I don't believe it. However, his steps are really similar to dream steps. If you didn't learn it with Olajuwon on the field, who did you learn it from? You may not know the situation of the Celestial Empire team, and they also have a big forward with gorgeous footsteps on the team. It's called Gong Xiaobin. He is now the #1 power forward in Asia. The steps are also very gorgeous. I think Enmu may have learned from Gong Xiaobin. David Robinson, who was shaken, and Karl Malone, after Enmu successfully scored, both looked at Olajuwon, who was resting off the field at this time. After Olajuwon saw the eyes of the two, he also spread his hands, signaling that he didn't know what was going on. Olajuwon didn't believe that this Celestial Dynasty leader could have such gorgeous steps. It took Olajuwon nearly a decade to study his steps and use them perfectly. But this Celestial Empire leader, how did he do it? Enmu's footsteps show his control over his body and his sensitivity to defense. After the false block was removed to cut the ball, Silky turned past Malone. After dangling Robinson for the first time, Enmu was not in a hurry. Another fake action shook Karl Malone before he used his hands to fold the buckle. It's a complete replica of dream footsteps. It's terrible. Enmu's dreamy footsteps were indeed learned from Gong Xiaobin. After a year, his control over this, God's chosen body, has reached its peak. This body not only has the strength and speed against the sky, but also has excellent coordination and flexibility. During the Olympic training, Enmu practiced with Gong Xiaobin, just to try the sensitivity and flexibility of this body. Now it has been proved that Enmu can completely take the technical route. After the Olympics, find a few trainers for special training. On the basketball court, the most demanding player ability is the center. On the defensive end, you must pay attention to blocking the opponent's breakthrough attack at any time, and also play the guard position anytime and anywhere. Offensive end, when playing on the inside back, footwork, strength, and fake moves are all required, and at the same time, the left and right hands must be balanced and can hook. When playing singles with the ball box from mid-range, watch your opponent's footsteps. It is also necessary to hone one-hand excellent Chinese investment skills. When facing the bag, you also have to learn how to pass the basketball to your teammates on the outside. When cooperating with teammates, you must learn how to block and dismantle, and whether to cut inside after blocking. When you take the ball at the free throw line, you also have to learn to observe the movement of your teammates. Take advantage of the best view on the pitch and complete the pass. Enmu wants to become a top center forward, and there is still a lot to do. There are 2 minutes and 45 seconds left. Celestial Empire leads by 6 points at 78-72. The US team began to attack. Watch out for defensive shooting. Break through and don't care. There I am. At the last moment, Enmu, the youngest in the Celestial Empire team, was the most calm and calm. His words also reassured his teammates. Michael and Peyton were always looking for shots. But the outside of the Celestial Empire all locked their shooting opportunities. You can break through, but you can't shoot. Karl Malone received the ball last and hit Liu Yudong on the inside. At the same time, the mid-shot Liangzi has a very good back-fighting technique, and the muscles on his arms also make him have a very large lethality in the low position. But at the moment when he turned to attack, Enmu stepped forward to grab and block Karl Malone's passing route. Beep. The sideline referee blows the whistle. The US team 30-second offensive violation. Episode 70, Death Dance Steps Shine the World. Together, we defeat Dream 3. Shit. When the sound of the 30-second offensive violation of the United States came out of the referee's mouth, Wilkins, the head coach of the American team, was very angry. He once again slammed the tactical board in his hand to the ground. Pause. Time out, he shouted at the referee. The US team applied for suspension. There were only 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the game. After the timeout, Wilkins did not reprimand the players again. He calmly assigned tasks to all the players. At this time, all the Celestial Dynasty Chioshu in front of the TV couldn't help but clench their fists. Because they know that the last 2 minutes of this game are the final decisive moment. In this battle, the Celestial Empire team broke a lot of doubts. Before the game, no one was optimistic about the Celestial Empire, and some even said that the Celestial Empire would collapse in 10 minutes. However, the Celestial Empire relied on its excellent performance, and after 10 minutes of matching, the Celestial Empire was the leading side. Some people say that after halftime, the American team can lead the Celestial Empire by more than 20 points, but the fact is that after the half game, the Celestial Empire is the leading side. Some people also said that the reason why the Celestial Empire was able to achieve such a leading point difference was because of the Celestial Empire center striker in Mu. And Mu has played a full 20 minutes in the first half, and in the second half, let Olajuwon and O'Neal take turns to consume him, then in Mu's physical strength will definitely have problems. The other starters of the Celestial Empire will also have problems, so that the American team has a chance to turn over. However, what shocked the fans of the American team today is the Celestial Empire has not collapsed. And Mu instead used a domineering dunk to directly break the basketball hoop, and even sent O'Neal directly to the hospital. Subsequently, Olajuwon was forced to change the field to confront Mu. In the confrontation, Olajuwon was at a disadvantage. It only took Mu less than 30 minutes to count Olajuwon to get the fourth foul of the game. The Celestial Empire has achieved morale suppression. The Celestial Empire has taken the lead in scoring. The Celestial Empire will soon be able to cross a mountain in the world basketball. The countless Celestial Empire fans in front of the TV were extremely nervous at this time, and how they wished that it was now the end of the game. But now the game is not over. There are still 2 minutes left, and the United States have 2 minutes to complete the final counterattack. Can the Celestial Empire hold their 6-point lead? Since the birth of the Dream First team, the American men's basketball team has walked sideways in the world basketball. They are not defeated. Today, the Celestial Empire received the leading score at the last moment. The tense application of all the members of the American team and the coach was clearly captured by the camera. The Americans panicked. It's like that war on the 38th parallel. The world hegemon, the United States, panicked in the face of the fledgling Celestial Empire. In 1984, the Celestial Empire men's basketball team returned to the Olympic Games, 12 years ago. In the past 12 years, the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team has continued to work hard one after another. However, the ranking of the Celestial Empire has never been able to enter the top 8. Their final record was 9th in the world at the 1992 Olympics. This year, the leaders gave the Celestial Empire men's basketball team the task of finishing in the top 8 in the world. However, when Gong Luming saw in Mu's strength, he had already quietly set a goal for himself in his heart. Before leaving for Atlanta, Gong Luming set himself a goal of being a top 6 in the world. When Los Angeles Mu showed his defensive dominance, Gong Luming set the goal for the Celestial Empire to be the top 4 in the world. When the first half of this game was over, Gong Luming adjusted his goal again. He wants the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team to win the top 3 that has never been won in the history of men's basketball. Entering the top 3 means that the Celestial Empire can at least win the bronze medal. Now, his confidence is even more inflated. Since my goal has been refreshed by this kid again and again, why not adjust my goal to the highest? Gold medal. Gong Luming came to Mu. Kamaki. Gong Luming's expression was unusually serious. Gong guide, you said. Promise me one thing. Gong Luming set his sights on the American lineup. Beat them. And Mu smiled. Gong Luming looked at Mu suspiciously and asked, what's wrong? And Mu said with a smile, from the moment I met the United States, I had the mentality of winning them. Any opponent I face, I have the mentality of winning them. I won't allow myself to lose. The Celestial Empire will not be allowed to lose. U.S. Team Bench. At the last moment, Wilkins did not feel nervous, his face was solemn. He said calmly, in the last 2 minutes, we have to play the strongest physical confrontation and the best offensive performance. For Mu's defense, I require at least 2 men to trap him every time he takes the ball. Point 1. Don't let him take the ball in the low post, don't let him defend in the low position. Hakeem, you keep playing, take him out to block. When they attack, defend him around the front. When Olajuwon heard this, he did not hesitate and nodded immediately. 2 minutes. It's just 2 minutes, but it affects us a lot. The United States has never lost since the NBA players founded the Dream Team, and I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want you to suffer defeat in this year's Olympics. We have to beat them. Beep. The referee's whistle blew, and the game started again. Celestial Empire lineup, and Mu, Liu Yudong, Sun Jun, Hu Weidong, Wu Qinglong. American lineup, Olajuwon, Karl Malone, Pippen, Michael, Peyton. Celestial Empire ball. Wu Qinglong controls the ball with his right hand, and watches Peyton protect the basketball with his left shoulder. Peyton suddenly moved, trying to shoot the basketball away from behind Wu Qinglong. Wu Qinglong reacted very quickly, and immediately sped away Peyton. Peyton failed to make a steal, and stuck to Wu Qinglong's side again. And Mu was about to ask for the ball in the low position, but found that Olajuwon used a round-the-back defense against him. After seeing Olajuwon defended against Mu, the American fans and the spectators and stands all widened their eyes in shock. Olajuwon defended Mu in the front? Even when Mu played so well before, Olajuwon didn't use the front defense. In previous games against the Magic, Olajuwon didn't even use defense against O'Neal. In the NBA game, Olajuwon is able to defend the front as many times he goes around. Oh my god. Has Mu already driven the American team to a corner? The American team actually began to use this method to defend Mu. Defending around the front is a defensive trick that has to be used when the inside player can't defend the opponent. Wu Qinglong controlled the ball from the outside and couldn't find the opportunity to pass the ball to Mu. Payton put a lot of defensive pressure, and he temporarily distributed the basketball to Hu Weidong. After Hu Weidong received the ball, the flank of the three-point line made eye contact with Mu. Mu suddenly gave up the important position and quickly ran towards the basket. Seeing this, Karl Malone's eyes were sharp. Let Liu Yudong go to the basket to surround Mu. Hu Weidong had already passed the basketball out of the outside at this time. Olajuwon and Karl Malone looked at the basketball flying high and then at the fast-running Mu. It seems that the current defense cannot complete the defense against Mu. In the last life, Mu wondered when he watched the ball. Because Yao Ming is obviously invincible in a low position, no one can be taken seriously. But it's always bothered to go around the front defense. The reason why he was troubled by the front defense was mainly that Yao Ming's athletic ability was insufficient to react when the opponent went around the front to defend. Every time Mu saw his opponent use a front defense against Yao Ming, he knew that Yao Ming basically couldn't get this ball. Mu and Yao Ming are both centers, but the two are different centers. His athletic ability, Yao Ming, is incomparable. Looking at the basketball flying high, Mu stomped on the ground with both feet and rose into the air. Reach out in the air to take off the basketball, and immediately prepared to run to the basket after the ball. When he wanted to jump again, he found that Olajuwon behind him pushed himself hard when the referee did not pay attention. Olajuwon's small movements were very hidden, but they disrupted Mu's movements. Mu's feet are unstable, and he will soon face a walking violation. Malone's bag clip also came from in front of him. Suddenly, Mu saw Liu Yudong's vacant opportunity, and before walking, he suddenly jumped. After Ma Long saw Mu's jump, he immediately turned around and stuck Mu's position. Medium investment? So far away, can you hit the shot? If you can throw it, I'll eat the ball. After Ma Long stuck Mu, he looked up at the sky. The next moment, I found that the trajectory of basketball was wrong. It's not a shot. It's a pass. Ma Long immediately let go of Mu and rushed towards Liu Yudong, who was in the vacant seat. At the same time, the defensive center of gravity of the entire American team began to move. Pippen quickly rushed to Liu Yudong, and Karl Malone also rushed to Liu Yudong. In the face of the two of them, Liu Yudong did not make a rash move. Faint shots that shake the two people apart. After the two flew up, Liu Yudong saw Mu under the basket stretching out his hand towards him. No hesitation, direct pass. His position is in the middle of the wing, and there is a risk of not scoring in the middle of the shot, and passing the basketball to Mu is obviously a better choice. Stuff the basketball into Mu's arms. After receiving the basketball, Mu turned his back to the basket on the left side of the rebound. Grab the ball with your right hand, turn to the right while wiping the basketball in your hand towards the backboard. Olajuwon did not jump as before, and firmly maintained his defensive position. It's easy to shake Robinson, but shake me? Impossible. Olajuwon stretched out his arms to defend Mu. Mu saw that Olajuwon was not shaken away, nor was he in a hurry. The body turns left again, the arm is staged, and the hand grabs the basketball towards the basket. Olajuwon trembled with sweat and hair. This is the time. Hakeem Olajuwon jumped high and waited for Mu's shot in the air, and it was time to cover him by himself. However, Mu didn't make a move. He was shaken off. After swaying Olajuwon, Mu jumped up and clasped his hands to end the attack. 80-72. 8 points lead. After landing, Olajuwon broke out in a cold sweat. Because he knows all the footstep movements that Mu made with that ball just now. This is clearly the offensive dance move he used against Robinson in the 1995 Western Conference Finals. That goal, accounted for the 1994-1995 NBA Top 10 Balls list. Some people even say that the ball is definitely the top 10 of Olajuwon's career, and it was once the most satisfactory existence in Olajuwon. But today, in the Olympics, when facing a rookie who has not played in the NBA, 2 consecutive FMVPI, known as the most gorgeous dance move in history, Olajuwon. Mu, with the footsteps that belonged to Damning himself, swayed and flew. Moreover, it is still in the last moments of this decisive victory. At this time, Olajuwon felt his legs tremble a little. This Celestial Empire champion is terrible. Before that, he used a gorgeous dance move, swinging Robinson and Karl Malone. Olajuwon thought that it was the strongest dance move Enmu could use, but what he didn't expect was that Enmu's strongest dance moves in this game turned out to be a perfect replica of the best work of his career. Moreover, the feeling that Enmu used is still so relaxed and elegant. Whoosh! All the fans at the scene exclaimed in shock. Some people even rubbed their eyes with this hand. Oh my god! Am I not mistaken? What do I see? My god! Are you kidding me? Enmu, he actually used the most gorgeous dance steps of damming to shake damming flying. This used to be a step that made countless fans amazed, but today it will be so easy to use it on Enmu's body. It's crazy. This game is crazy. From the very beginning of this game, it was completely out of the direction of the game. Our team is cursed. Our players and coaches are all cursed. Some people can't believe what is happening on the pitch. Someone is covering his head and talking loud nonsense. When Enmu perfectly reproduced the footsteps of Demang, he completely destroyed the hearts of all the Americans on the scene. In the hearts of American players, something collapsed at this moment. The hearts of the American audience already have endless incredulity and disbelief. Is this true? In their opinion, this is not a dream step. This is a step of death. After Enmu completed this step, there was no celebratory action. He shouted to his teammates. Pay attention to the defense. Don't give them any chance. Today, victory belongs to the Celestial Empire. The Celestial Empire players, looking at the collapsed American players and American spectators, have bloodshot in their eyes. Refreshing. For them, such a scene is the coolest. If this game had been Barcelona in 1992, Seoul in 1988, they wouldn't have been so excited. Because, whether it's Barcelona or Seoul, it's not the territory of Old Rice, and now, Atlanta. The game was held in Atlanta, in the capital of Georgia, USA. They want to put Laumi in despair in the territory of Laumi. At this time, within the American team, it's not just Olajuwon's hands shaking. Even Peyton, who was dribbling, was shaking slightly. How did that rookie, that Celestial champion, that kid who was only 19 years old? He's so much better than that race in March Madness. I can't even believe that Enmu's progress is real. In the American team, the only one who is still strong is Pippen. The first quality of playing with Jordan is to be strong enough. Otherwise, by the time the opponent has not defeated you, Jordan will already scold you directly and cry. He took the basketball from Peyton and singled Sun Jun with the ball. Sun Jun clenched his teeth and carefully watched all the movements of Pippen. Pippen changes forward to backward and dribbles from the left crotch into the inside line. Sun Jun straightened his chest and confronted Pippen. But not wanting to, Pippen suddenly stepped back and withdrew from the three-point line. Core ball, aim at the basket, shoot with precision. Oh. The basketball goes to the basket. 80-75. There is 1 minute and 30 seconds left. The Celestial Empire team slowed down the pace of their attack. The basketball bounced up, fell, bounced, and fell in Wu Qinglong's hand. The countless Celestial Empire viewers in front of the TV have woken up from Enmu's beautiful attack just now. Bang. 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 The offensive time is ticking minute by minute. In the last 7 seconds, Wu Qinglong and Enmu blocked the demolition. Hu Weidong and Sun Jun were at the three-point line, opening up enough space for him. Pippen constantly directs everyone to defend against the Celestial Empire players. Enmu tried to cut inside after blocking it, but was directly blocked back by Pippen and Karl Malone. Olajuwon staggered for a misplaced defense, and he crossed in front of Wu Qinglong, constantly adjusting his footsteps. He was very confident that he could make a perfect big defense against Wu Qinglong. Wu Qinglong clenched his teeth, and there were only 3 seconds left. Enmu's inner cut was stopped, and the others had no good chance. Only yourself, another small and big chance. Accelerating the dribble, breaking through to the inside, Olajuwon turned and retreated. Suddenly, Wu Qinglong withdrew and shot with the ball. Basketball, fly. Everyone on the US team didn't look at basketball. Marlon, Peyton, and Pippen surrounded and trapped Enmu dead in a bag composed of the 3 of them. This time, you don't have a chance to make up the buckle. Basketball, fly to the highest point and start falling. Rebounds. Reggie Michael shouted. Olajuwon sprinted quickly inside to protect the rebound. But he didn't want to. Wu Qinglong's speed was faster than him. At the first moment of the shot, Wu Qinglong had already rushed to the basket. basketball, sure enough, did not go to the basket. Hee, you can't get the blue board if you go first. Olajuwon sneered, and his foot movements accelerated. Wu Qinglong looked at Olajuwon, who rushed behind him. Olajuwon, there is a high probability that he will cut off the beard early, before he gets the rebound. Wu Qinglong gritted his teeth and jumped with all his might. Stretch out your arms and point the basketball into the sky again. Olajuwon's body began to fall and he missed the basketball. After landing, he plans to fight for basketball again. Only to find that a Celestial Dynasty Chinese character appeared in front of him, or rather, here's a number, Celestial Dynasty men's basketball number 8 shirt. Domestic Jordan jumping high to collect the basketball. Frontcourt rebounds. Hu Weidong won the frontcourt rebound, Sun Jingping said loudly, this is a crucial frontcourt rebound. After Hu Weidong got the basketball, he quickly dribbled out of the three-point line. The American players quickly rushed towards Hu Weidong, trying to foul. Hu Weidong dribbled to dodge and passed the basketball to Enmu's hand. After Enmu took the ball, he did not avoid the foul of the American team. The referee blew the whistle and Enmu went to the free throw line. There are 58 seconds left. Wu Qinglong had some conditions, just now he jumped too hard, causing calf cramps. After Hu Weidong saw the referee blow the whistle, he ran to the sideline, squatted on the ground and retched. Enmu, who was fouled by American players, was also sweating profusely, and the violent panting sound could even be heard by the audience in front of the TV. He walked up to Wu Qinglong and asked, Brother Long, is it okay? Wu Qinglong blamed himself and said, not scoring that goal is my problem, but being able to grab the rebound is worth your efforts. Xiaomu, I'm dragging you back. Speaking, Wu Qinglong choked his tone, and his eye circles were a little red. Brother Long, we are a team, comrades in arms, brothers. I have to give, and everyone has to give. In this team, no one can do without it. The victory depends on everyone, not me alone. In the history of the Celestial Empire, all victories from ancient times to the present have relied on the will of the people and the unity of all people. All the Celestial Empire players present gathered together. All the players on the bench also stand. The 12 Celestial Dynasty players, as well as all the members of the coaching staff, shouted in unison, Celestial Dynasty, you will win.